Hello and welcome to ET Auto. We are at 64th annual convention of Automotive Component Manufacturing Association, and we have Mr. Reuven Azar, who's Israeli ambassador to India. He'll talk to us about the collaboration between the two countries and the startups who are showcasing the technologies in this show. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
Would
Deepan.
like
How are you?
would like to understand from you about what are the new technologies you're collaborating with the Indian suppliers and how we together as a countries, Israel and India, can bring the future of mobility together.
Well, first of all, Deepanshu, India is the great next thing. Everybody is coming here because we know that you have an emerging economy, your industry is boosting, and this, of course, includes the automotive industry, which is in great shape, is going to continue to grow. Now, Israel doesn't produce cars, but it has technology that has to do with sensors, with different technologies that upgrade cars. So we are already present at the main production hubs in the world, in Japan, in Germany, in the United States, because our companies add to competitiveness. Okay, so if you want to compete in the global market and you want to have not only local production but also you want to conquer other markets, you have to be ready with the technologies that will allow you to compete with the big producers in the world. And this is exactly what we're doing now in India. There are some Israeli investments in manufacturing here, but the main component is the technological collaboration. And therefore, there are Indian companies that are already exporting abroad that have started to invest in Israel. And they are investing in Israeli startups because they want to implement that technology in order to use it together with the local technology. India also has great technology as well, in order to be able to compete in the global stage.
So how Israel is looking at the global trends of future of mobility in terms of what kind of technologies that your startups are working on, where you can support the global supply chain in terms of bringing value from the technology powers?
Well, the main player in Israel is Mobileye. This is a company that was sold for about $15 billion to Intel, and this company produce automotive features, automotive autonomous vehicles for features. So the whole issue of autonomous driving, not just creating vehicles that are autonomous, but autonomous features to existing vehicles, sensors. This is something very important. Today, it is very important to know that the value of a car is 85% software. So the wheels and the motors, they're all very important, but they compose only 15% of the value of the car. At the end of the day, what gives value to the car is the technology that you put inside the car, whether it be in sensors, whether it be in the capability of the battery to create the right kind of power, to sustain the life of the battery, to use green energy. All these things are going to determine the future of the car industry, and for that we need this cooperation, because Israel can give a little edge that India needs, just like it is giving it to the rest of the world.
So what are expectations from the Indian government and the Indian supply chain ecosystem and as well as the OEMs, how can they bolster your ecosystem in terms of getting the right technology and what are the expectations around that?
Well, we have here several companies that came to exhibit in this exhibition. Some of them are dealing with cyber, for example. Today every car that is being manufactured in the world has to have several standards of defense on the software. And this is something that is almost non-existent in India, and Israeli companies are bringing it. We have a company called Karamba that is supplying this service to the local industry. There are other companies that are dealing with battery efficiency. So our expectation is that these companies will be able to penetrate the market, to get contracts with local companies. Our expectation is that Indian manufacturers that are already well established in the world and already export to the world will come and invest more in Israeli startups so they can upgrade the capabilities to implement the value, the IP that is being manufactured in Israel, to implement it in the Indian products and make it part of the Indian products so the Indian products can compete in the world.
What is your view on the policy from the Indian government? Do you think it's conducive enough for countries like Israel and other startups to foster and grow here?
Well, I'm very new in this country. I barely know how the Indian government operates. And even after I know how to operate, it's not my job to recommend to the Indian government what to do. They know very well what to do. and they are doing great because the Indian economy is growing very fast. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.